Alright, it's Jefford again from Rubik's Academy. So far, I hope you guys are enjoying this video series. If you are, do like and subscribe. Most important of all, as you like and subscribe, it's not just about stocks. We don't just have knowledge on stocks. There will be other forms of subject matters. There will be some panel interviews with some other kinds of experts. That's number one. Number two is for those of you who actually downloaded our mobile app, we have a lot of courses from you to choose from. We have many subjects, different subjects for you to actually select from. Okay, so watching this video series is really just the start of your journey with Rubik's as a learner. Alright, but personally, I believe not just in learning and taking, I believe in being a producer as well. You don't need to just be a consumer of knowledge. You can be a producer of knowledge as well. You can be a producer of knowledge as well. All right, and that is what I call the power givers movement. All right, of course, more videos on that in the power givers video series. But basically, if you have this desire to communicate knowledge, to propagate knowledge, that is where you need to be. That is where you need to be. You need to start being a power giver. Right? You need to start propagating knowledge. All right, and Rubik's is the best platform, right? You can set up a course, set up a lesson in less than 10 minutes and put it up there. When people sign up, all right, you start designing the content before that, but when people sign up, you start experimenting with the content. You don't have to charge. It can be totally free, no problem. It can be totally free at first, but as you propagate more knowledge, you build a community, you become a subject matter expert, and from there, you actually can make some money. All right, doing what you love at the same time. Now, that's the power of propagating knowledge. Okay, to me, I don't believe the world should only be ruled by a few influencers. It should be every one of us should seek to influence positively in our own way. All right, don't be a negative influence. Don't spread viciousness. Don't spread toxicity. But we have the power to spread positive values and positive messages. All right, all it takes is a belief in ourselves. All it takes is us to believe in the fact that we can give positively to others. All right, and what better way to give positively to others than giving knowledge, all kinds of knowledge. All right. Now, back to today's topic, we're going to talk about fundamental analysis. All right, we're going to talk about fundamental analysis. And today we're going to talk about the general ways of categorizing fundamental analysis. All right, so there are three main things that we are trying to investigate when it comes to fundamental analysis. Three main things. Okay, the first thing that we're trying to investigate is basically your profiting ability. Your profits. All right, so when we talk about profits, we're talking about how much of the market share can you get, how many users can you get, how fast is your turnover rate for your products, what is your inventory turnover rate. Okay, how much are you making per product, what is your gross profit, what is your net profit. Okay, how fast are you getting in income from people, right? And what is your average cart value. Okay, things like that. Right, we are interested in the amount of money, in the amount of money that you are able to capture from the market. Okay, that is the first thing that we are concerned about when it comes to fundamental analysis. The second thing that we're concerned about, is actually your operating efficiency. All right, we're concerned about your operating efficiency, meaning that we are concerned whether your product is being moved and sold in an efficient manner. Meaning that for every dollar that you earned, how much of it is net profit, how much of it is gross profit. At the end of the day, after deducting the cost of goods sold, what we call the COGS, how much money are you left with? In the end, how much manpower do you need to get a certain thing done? You know, things like that. We are interested in the operating efficiency of the company. Okay, how many people do you need to complete a job? All right, how much manpower cost are you incurring every month? Okay, How much are your suppliers charging you for delivery of the goods, or are you delivering the goods yourself? If you are delivering the goods yourself, can you lower your cost margins? Things like that. We're interested in whether the money that you get from the market can be effectively turned into just profits. That means when we talk about operating efficiency, we are talking about a journey from profits to operating efficiency, from A to B. Okay, because after you get the money from the market, how much of it has to be paid out in terms of cost. Alright, if you can produce that amount of goods and move that amount of goods but at a lower cost, then you have a high operating efficiency. Okay, so it's a journey from A to B. After you get to B, we'll talk about C, right? And in C, what are we concerned with? We are concerned with debt, okay, or sometimes they call it leverage. Two words, but they mean the same thing. Alright, so debt and leverage. When we talk about debt and leverage, okay, we're talking about how much money is the company borrowing, right? Some companies are funded through equity, some companies are funded through debt financing. Alright, they call it debt financing. So basically, debt financing is the act of borrowing money, going for loans to sustain the company. So when you go for loans, when you borrow money from the banks, from investors, from investment banks, from consumer banks, from whichever institution, you need to return them slowly. And if you return them slowly, you incur interest. Then of course there is compound interest, there's simple fixed interest. It depends, but usually it is compound interest. Alright, then we talk about how many points is the interest for, what is the percentage of the compound interest, what is the percentage of the fixed interest. Alright, so we have all those things at play. Now, debt is important because if a company's profits cannot successfully pay back the debt at a constant rate, then the amount of debt may start to pile up. Then over time, you start to realize that the company is not making enough money to ever pay off its debt. So it runs into the risk of defaulting. Alright, it runs into the risk of defaulting, whereby the company just has to say, look, we do not have enough money to pay back the debt. Can you cancel this so-called, we would like to default on this loan. Now, when that happens, that's very bad news for the stocks. That's very bad news for the company's share price, because when a company defaults, it's usually when they are bankrupt. Okay, a bank will only let you default on a loan when you are deemed to have zero ability to repay your loan. If you are deemed to have zero ability to repay your loan, it usually means that you're going bankrupt. Simple. Okay, so debt is the third thing we're trying to examine. Okay, and among these three things that we have here, there will be other sort of there will be ratios, there will be scores that we'll be looking at, there will be some numbers, but no matter what we are looking at, it doesn't matter what kind of numbers we are looking at, it will fall into one of these three categories: profits, operating efficiency, and debt. Alright, these are the three things that we're always examining a company's fundamentals with. These are the three things. Alright, these are the three main criteria. All other things, all other fanciful terms that you see in the market will fall nicely into one of these three. Alright, so that's it. Thank you very much. Short lesson. My name is Jefford from Rubik's Academy. Download our mobile app if you haven't. We'll see you on the app. Alright, thank you.